Greetings and welcome. It's Friday as we record. Happy Friday and welcome to the mat. So please have yourself a very comfortable seat to begin with. We're going to do a little head, neck, shoulder massagey release stuff or headachy or just busy brain or whatever it might be, neck, tech neck business. So yeah, let's first just take pause. Notice your breath without efforting. Just observing how the breath spontaneously arises and how it just flows away, how we can just let it flow, let it go. And because of that body wisdom, that life trusting itself, we have to let go to make room for the new, for the welcoming. And just observe that spontaneous arising of breath, sensation, thought, emotion arising and flowing away. And feel your body receiving, letting flow with ease and grace. And if you can, notice in the same way any pains or discomforts in the body mind, physical or energetic, a headache or any sticky emotion stuff. Just notice its spontaneous arising. And some of these things can be habits or they can linger for days. And once we give them the attention needed, or once we draw our attention to where it's actually needed, those things may just melt away. Maybe you can imagine this with any pain or other experience you're having, how it just spontaneously arose at some point. And see if you can imagine it just melting away, just like the breath coming from this vast, infinite space, spontaneously arising into your conscious awareness and then flowing back away into that spaciousness. We can observe now and throughout our days what spontaneously arises, what easily flows away, what we habitually cling on to or attach to, story or just hold on to in the body mind. Let it be interesting. And let yourself feel what has to be felt. And then also, as we begin our practice, as we begin our day, we remember that we can choose our focal point. So we notice whatever arises, but we've decided on a point of intention, point that lights us up inside, that inspires us forward, that brings a smile to our face, that makes us breathe more deeply. Find for yourself, if you will, in the next breath or three, any word, mantra, or image that holds the energy of intention or sankalpa to. What are you choosing to direct the energy of your practice to today? See it, breathe it, repeat it. And breathe that intention. And if you will with me, we'll use the Nadasuchi or the sound needle of Brahmari to draw up from the pelvic floor through the body into the center of the head, the third eye center, pineal gland, and just kind of imagine the vibration washing out through the head, washing away any tension or busyness. So NG like the end of the Om and a little addition to that is to lift the tip of the tongue and the eyes lightly towards the third eye center. We'll do it 3 times. And then let's take our fingers like little combs. We'll line them up along the part or your mohawk, whatever you got there in the center of your head. And just give a little wiggle of the scalp over the skull here, forward and back, side to side. We'll do this a few times. So you'll do the first one a little further forward. If you're in the middle, that's fine. Do the next one further forward. And then the next one can be further back or forward as you like. Wiggle, wiggle. Just imagine you're washing out, shaking out any stickiness there, inviting nice clear flowing of your circulation in the scalp and the skull and all those little veins and nerves that are moving through. And when you're ready, you can move that further to the back. And then when you're ready, we'll take the fingertips and draw some circles around those nebby bones on either side of the place where the skull, the spine meets the skull. And you can go from center there directly on either side to a wider out, circling, and wider out, circling, till you're just behind the ears, those big nebby bones behind the ears where the jaw meets the skull. Oh, yeah, and you could palpate around there and see if you find any little divots right next to those bones that are extra exciting. And then just kind of follow your intuition or your body's request to move back around the skull and back into the neck or whatever is good for you there. Circling or kind of creating like squeegee like. I'm going squeegee now on the tops of the shoulders. And just a few more breaths, giving a little squeeze or circle, wringing out any tension. Imagine just washing it away. And we'll take that down the front of the neck, down the side bodies, all the way down the legs to the earth. Just kind of grounding. And then the kitten paws, little soft paws here. We'll take those middle knuckles to the center of the forehead. And with them together at first, draw some circles, little pressure in, move the ears back over the shoulders. And circles one way while breathful. Circles the other way. And then open those circles wide and back together and wide out to the side. And out to the temples. And you might pause around the temples. And big breaths, really let your jaw hang. And let's take that down to the jaw. Let the jaw really hang. And maybe get that middle knuckle in there for a minute. Up and into that big masseter muscle there. Drop the jaw. Up and in. And you could do a little wiggle or little circles there if it feels good. or just a little pressure for a few breaths. And then stay with that as you like, or when you're done, again, we're going to kind of squeegee that big broad muscle there and put the thumb under the edge of the jaw. And just kind of squeegee out anything there and pull it out the jaw, out the chin. Throw it away, and let's circle the mouth and the shoulders. And switch directions. All right, and let's come to stand on the mat. And we'll go through some fluid movements for the body before we move into some strength stuff. Sipping sounds, sorry. All right, so first, hello feet, lift and spread, roll into feet, roll into heels, pulse toes and heels, heels and toes. And then maybe hands to hips. Let's step the right foot back and go ahead and roll over those toes. You're beginning to stretch them a bit and pulse. And then let's roll over the top of the toes and the bottom. So you're drawing circles, rolling through that foot and ankle. And you can kind of let that roll come all the way up your body, a little body wave. And switch directions. We'll do about 7 circles each here, moving through the joints. You might take a little pause between sides and just notice the fluidity, the warmth. When you're ready, second side, stretch on back. Just rock over the toes first. They'll stretch out. And then let's roll over the toes, rolling through the ankle. And we'll switch directions after 7 or so. Take your time. When you're done, we'll step the big toes to touch and have the heels apart a couple inches. Bend into the knees and hands on the thighs above the knees. Keep the feet really connected to the earth. So spread the toes, hug the earth, lift your arches, and let's draw some circles with the knees around the ankles, keeping the feet connected. And switch directions. And then while we're here with hands on the knees, when you're done, bend into the knees, push into the thighs and pull the navel back, low ribs back, curl chin to chest and roll on up, heavy head, shoulders on the back, open chest, open face, seat back, bust forward, and exhale, push into the thighs, lift the navel around, let the neck be fluid, inhale, sliding up and open booty back, chest forward, and exhale, press and round. Let your breath lead the movement. We'll do about 5 more. And take your time. Once you're done, come on up. We'll bring the hands to hips and step your feet outer hip width. We'll just go 3 in each direction here. We'll bring the hips way out to the right and then press hips forward, hips way out to the left and back. Big, big circles to the right, forward, side, and back. 1 more that way. And then switch directions. Come on back to center. Press the hips down, lift up out of the waist and move the ribs side to side. So that can be a lot of articulation to find at first. It's not the shoulders moving, that's different, but it could go together once you get that articulation of the ribs. And then see about drawing circles, ribs over hips. Kind of like a washing machine there for the diaphragm and the organs. And switch directions. And then we'll roll through the shoulders. And other direction. I like to add the mouth to that. And then we'll focus in on the scapula a little more, bring the fingertips to the shoulders, and we'll roll through the elbows, big, big circles. And switch directions. And all of it is breath practice. So inhale up, straight arms, exhale, fly it down. Inhale up and exhale, fly down. You can go in that pace or and we'll switch directions. And forward and back. And let's clasp and push the sacrum down and squeeze the elbows and shoulders on the back. Bounce your heart up, feet strong, knees soft. Breathe wide across the wings of your heart. And then inhale, pull the hands down and back. Keep squeezing the shoulders, lifting the heart. Big breath. And let's bring the clasp of the hands to the right side waist, right ear to the shoulder, and pull that left shoulder down and away. Soft jaw. Inhale back to center, squeeze, open up. Other side. Release the hands down, inhale them back up to the sky, and exhale, center and focus in. And then we're just going to bring the hands right back up, elbows to shoulder height, interlaced fingers, and we'll roll through the wrists like you're drawing infinity symbols on the sky. That would be 8s. Big inhale as you exhale, press the palms forward and pull the navel back, squeeze and round breath out. Inhale, palms to the sky, wiggle up out of the waist, and exhale, side bend to the right and turn your face down. Inhale up, exhale over, face down, soft jaw. Again, each side. Up and over if you'd like, bring the arm down and maybe take a couple breaths there, just rolling it out, stretching it out any way that feels good for you. And as inspired, switch sides. And then take your time, come on back up, exhale, empty. Inhale to sky and exhale and center. Press into the palms, shoulders on the back, lift your hands. Step to the front of the mat and just feel your body, fluid, awake, alive. Breathe, hear your yes. So as we focus on strength today a bit, we are going to really kind of slow things down a lot because that will actually build more strength. So paying attention to the alignment and the muscles as they're working, slowly begin to sink into the knees, keep the middle toes in alignment, draw the weight back into the tailbone, draw the low ribs into the back body, and arms up, biceps next to the ears. And if that feels uncomfortable for any reason, the hands could be at the heart and just press their shoulders on the back. I'm actually going to do that today. The tension in my neck and shoulders just feels better here. So we're going to pour weight into the right foot and bring the left knee behind the right. And tuck in here. We're going to go really slow. Tuck, inhale, exhale, slow, 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 whole length of the exhale. Inhale, gather the breath in, gather the body back in. Whole length of the exhale, very slowly, working towards stretching everything out long. Whole length of the inhale, tuck in. Couple more. Slowly bend that standing knee this time. Step back as far as you can and bring the fingers down to the earth. Maybe use blocks if you need to here. Stretch the back heel back and pull on the earth, heart forward. Inhale, lengthen out, soft jaw. And then yogi's choice here. We're going to get into the psoas a bit. You could keep the toes, the back toes under, or point the back toes straight back and press into the top of that back foot with the toes pointed straight back, and breathe a little softness into that iliopsoas. Your chest and head could even rest here if you like on that front thigh. Let the head hang and pulse slow and steady, soft jaw. Couple more breaths into that back leg. And then up onto the fingertips. Back toes can turn under. Back knee up and lift that front heel. And slowly lower it down. And slowly lift the front heel. And slowly lower it down. Let's do a few more. Inhale, find your lunge, and slowly shift forward. Pull the back foot up into the core. Level the hips out side to side. Bend the top knee. Press hands to heart, shoulders on the back, and kick that top foot to the sky at the top of the range. So first push as high as you can so you feel those glutes really turn on. And then at the top of the range there, little pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tiny bends and straightens of the standing leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale as you exhale. Step the feet together. Sink into your seat. Sweep the fingers. Open up. Utkatasana. Exhale, drop low in your seat. Inhale, standing back bend. Stretch and wiggle up out of the waist. Exhale, center and focus. Feel your breath, your aliveness, your yes. And as you're ready, once again, lift the heart to the sky. Sink the seat down and back, slowly lower, keeping that alignment of feet and knees and hip points. And as you're able, biceps back next to the ears, weight into the tailbone, pull those low ribs into the back body. Hands could stay up or bring them to the heart, shoulders on the back. Pour the weight into the left leg. Inhale, exhale, right knee up behind the left or your second side. Really tuck in as you inhale, and the whole length of your exhale, begin to straighten that standing leg and push the other leg back. Fly the arms if you like, or keep the arms to support you for stability. Inhale and gather in. Exhale, slow and steady, whole length of the breath. Three more. Slow and steady bend into that standing knee. Step back as far as you can. Frame the front foot with your fingers. Again, you could rest onto the thigh for a moment if you like, and turn the back toes or point the back toes straight back. And the head could rest as the shoulder and chest do. Really let the mouth be soft and push into the top of that back foot. Lift the thigh and pulse. With the breath, long and slow, elevating as high as you can and slowly melting down every part of this crucial last 2 breaths. And then back toes could turn under. Come onto your fingertips, shoulder blades down the back. Soft tongue and jaw, and as you're ready, back knee could be up and pulse front heel up and slowly lower it down. And front heel pulsing up and slowly lower it down. Moving with the breath. Find your lunge, open heart, big breath as you exhale. Pour the weight into that front foot, pull the back foot up into the core. And hands could be supportive or anywhere you like. Bend the top knee, pull those low ribs in, keep the core really engaged. Press the top foot to the sky as high as you can and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing knee, tiny little bends and straightens. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step the feet together. Sink down, sweep the earth. Open up, Utkatta. Exhale, drop in. Inhale, standing back bend. Exhale, hands to heart, take pause. Feel your breath, your aliveness. Imagine all this heat and energy, your strength, your healing, your joy, your yes to life. And when you're ready, exhale, arms down. Inhale, fly up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, place the hands and maybe bend deeply into the knees. Exhale all the breath out and float back. Plank, top of a push-up. If you need to at any point, please lower the knees as much as you can. We want to keep the ears, shoulders, ribs, hips in alignment. Make your heart soft and tilt the pelvis, tailbone reaching down, navel lifting up. Shift forward a bit, inhale. And exhale, we're gonna make like the plank to the earth has 5 steps. So inhale forward and we'll go down 5, 4, come on back. And shift forward, 5, 4, 3, come on back. Shift forward, 5, 4, 3, 2, can you come back? Inhale, one more. Shift forward, 5, 4, tuck those elbows in, pull the shoulders back, 2, and 1, all the way down to the earth. Point your toes back. Let's roll the wrists out, stretch the hands back and interlace them on the sacrum, or just push your sacrum down. You could rest the forehead a moment if you like, even push into it and give a little roll around there. Use the hands to press sacrum down. Bounce elbows and shoulders to the sky and pull the hands up and back. Hug the legs together and push into pubic bone and sacrum, long back of the neck. Press in. Breathe in center or pull the hands in one ear to one side, soft jaw. And then other side. Back to center, release the hands down, roll the shoulders around. Come on to the forearms. Pull with your forearms, shoulder blades down the back. And inhale, turn your toes under, lift the knees, or use the knees if you need to. As you exhale to lift up, forearm plank. Again, try to find that alignment, ears, shoulders, ribs, hips. And you could stay holding this or inhale, lower down, sphinx. Open up and exhale, power up. 3 more rounds of breath, pulsing or just holding. And take your time, lower back down. Again, take a moment to roll the shoulders out. And then when you're ready, hands under shoulders. Again, you may want your knees for this. We're gonna push up, but we're gonna push up slow. We're gonna take those same 5 steps on the way up. So hands under shoulders, use the knees or lift them. Lift elbows and shoulders to the sky. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those little increments. Inhale, shift forward, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way down or hovering. Inhale, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go back, down dog. And if you need to, child. And stretch it out, any little movements, lots of breath. In down dog or child's. Claw the fingertips and inhale, let's pulse up onto the tiptoes and back to the heels. Maybe you can even lift the toes. Pulse, tiptoes, heels, lift toes. 3 more. And we're going to do some down dog press ups here, like a turbo dog, if you will. So hands wide as the shoulders, spread the fingers wide, claw the earth. Scoop the elbows towards one another and bend the elbows as you keep hugging them in. So they begin to hover towards the earth and reach the head towards the hands. Straighten the arms, pull back from the core. Inhale, exhale, bend the elbows, scoop them together, shoulders roll away from each other, elbows hover an inch or two from the earth as the head reaches towards the hands, and then straighten out. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, scoop, bend, reach the head. Inhale, up and back. Scoop. Couple more. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, bend deep into your knees and hop or step through to sit. And take a moment in your seat to just roll the shoulders out, the neck, the jaw, the hands, the elbows, all of it. Get nice and fluid. And then as you're ready, let's bring the hands next to the hips. Roll the shoulder blades onto the back, claw the fingertips. Open the feet so they're as wide as your hip points. Keep clawing fingertips and squeeze shoulders on the back and lift your heart. And breathe here. Keep clawing those fingertips. You could rest right here anytime you like. Or claw, press into heels, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your shoulders, and lift your hips. Tilt the tailbone again down through the knees, navel towards the face. And we're going to try to come into a nice flat tabletop or stay here for the next 5 breaths or so. Otherwise, inhale here and exhale. You could land or pull back, hips past the arms as much as they'll go, strong core. Inhale, squeeze, squeeze, shoulders open, heart. And exhale, stay or pull back. Moving with your breath. We're going 3 more. And just 2 more. And you can come to sit again, roll out or shake out or whatever you need there to just let all those joints be loose again. Feel that energy and heat that you're building up. Imagine this, your freedom, your joy, your yes, your strength. And let's bring the hands back behind us now. Turn the fingertips to point towards you. Hands as wide as the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulders on the back. And this could be enough. This could be a lot, as it is. Feel free to stay with that. Or let's step the feet in, heels under the knees, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips, and really put a strong corset on here. Tilt the pelvis, tailbone out through the knees, navel towards the face. Inhale, and as you exhale, bend the elbows straight back. And again, bend the elbows straight back. So the torso is going to drop down a bit, the hips will drop down, but it's different than letting the hips drop down. So we're not Ving down, we'll press back, and there's just a connected dip of the torso. And let's play with that for 5 more. Holding to the breath. And take your time. Roll over your ankles or find any way into child's pose. And let's float the arms back behind you. And take pause here, deep full breaths. And if it's right for you, you might clasp the hands behind you, lift the hands and roll to the crown of the head. If it's not right for you, just any variation with the arms there. Pull the clasp of the hands up and over as you give a little press into the crown like you're standing on your head. And unwind. Pull up and onto hands and knees. Claw those fingertips, strong core. Turn the toes under, melt the heart down. Inhale. Exhale as you lift the knees and hover. 5, 4, pull up and back from the hips, downward dog. Step your big toes to touch, and again, here you could get fluid for a moment and just side to side, pivot, knees and toes to one side, hips to the other, and bend and straighten the knees. Bend as you go this side, straighten through center. And just warming that up. At any point, you can make your way into side plank. Possibly you come back to the earth and a shin is down or a forearm is down. Possibly you just roll over outside that right foot, right hand. Valjshisthasana, side plank. Scoop the shoulder blades down the back. Press out through the heels, lengthen tailbone. Slide the ears back along the shoulders. And simply breathful here. Or you could play with dipping the hip down as you flow the arm down and pull the hand and the hip back up. Maybe play dipping hip down, arm down, pull back up. Let's go 5 more breaths here. Just 2 more breaths. Feel free to move through a vinyasa or rest, down dog or child's pose before second side. And take your time. Make your way over. Second side Vashista, set up as needed so that shoulder blades really plugged in. Length through the tailbone, core, spine, ears in line with shoulders. Breathful. Support yourself as needed or add the challenge. Maybe dipping top arm and hip down. Pull up from the hand and the hip. 5 more breaths. And then take your time again. Down dog, vinyasa, child's pose, whatever's right for you right now. If you go for that vinyasa, try to have that slow and steady lowering. And then rest when you're done in child's pose. Hands could hold one wrist on the low back. Arms could just float back behind you, or with the arms out in front, you can roll the palms up, play with bending the elbows. Just see what feels most beneficial for you right now. Deep, full breaths. Soft jaw and tongue. Imagine all this heat and energy just open to, just washing. Softening as it strengthens, releasing knots and tensions and blocks and opening to great vigor and aliveness, vibrancy. Simply breathful or around a Brahmari or bee's breath here. And take your time. Roll slow and steady through to lying on your back. And hug your knees in. Just give yourself a moment there to feel a little grounded, a little comfort, a little massage as you rock into the back body. Any little movements there. And you can return to the hug and rock as needed. We're going to do a little bit of weightlifting with our core here. We're just going to be lifting the weight of the legs. So just playing with some core work. It'll also be shoulder work. So we work to keep the scapula on the earth, flat. Have the arms in any way, maybe cactus arms or field goal arms here, as you have the elbows straight out from the shoulders, hands straight up from the elbows, and those scapula really pinned. Inhale, legs to the sky, and squeeze the legs together and flex and point. Here you could also use a block for this stuff so that you've got even more squeeze and feedback for that squeeze between the legs. Inhale, squeeze, squeeze the legs, and exhale slow and steady for the whole length of your exhale. Lower the legs towards about halfway at first, and then inhale, legs back up. If you'd like to also lift there, sacrum, tailbone up, and then exhale, and slow and steady, lower the legs about halfway. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, slow and steady. So we can stay at this height, just lowering about halfway, really pulling the navel and low ribs back as you do. Or go further, maybe about 2/3 of the way towards the ground, so just a foot or so off the ground. Three more, and that 2/3. Stay with either of those, or we got 5 more breaths. We're gonna lower till maybe just a couple inches off of the earth. And take your time when you're done. Let's step the feet wide as the mat and stretch the arms out overhead and just knees side to side and all that toning there in the core and the psoas. Now we just want to make sure it stays fluid and flexy. You can feel free to stay with this side to side breath or pull the elbows down and kick across. Pretty mellow core there. Keeping those shoulders pinned. If you're ready for a little more strength, well, it could be anywhere between that. The stuff I often lead with the knees squared and pressing. Or if you're really feeling it, maybe legs to the sky, squeeze, keep those elbows pinned, and legs to one side. So letting either shoulder pop up, inhale back to center, legs to the other side, legs straight is going to be the hardest. Knees bent or feet on the floor, of course, are taking us down into a little easier variations. Let's go 3 more long breaths each side, whatever variation you're deciding to do. And then maybe on your last one there, you go ahead and reach over, bring the legs all the way over, bent or straight legs, and reach for a knee or a foot or anywhere in between, and send that top hip down, lengthen your spine, and roll that top arm open. Turn the head onto the ear looking away from the legs. And breathe your twist here, long exhales. Focus on those exhales. Please stay as you like, or hug in back to center, or pick the legs up and then take them to the other side. Whatever inspires you, making your way to the second side. Holding where it's right for you on that side, shift the hip down, lengthen the spine and roll onto that other ear, and long exhales. Please stay with that as you like. Once you feel complete there, come on back to center. Hug your knees in. Maybe stay with that hug or turn it into happy baby. Play with any movements there or variations in happy baby. And then listen in to that baby. Are there any other last movements or shapes that you would like to take before or as your final resting? We are doing a shorter practice today, as a few of us, all of us, have to leave early. So you've got about 3 minutes or so right now for any other last movements, shapes, or complete pause. And just notice the energy that's present. Imagine each breath just gathering up that energy and drawing it in to your heart center. Your heart shining that energy out through your body healing and renewing with the strength, the heat, the energy of your practice. And inhale, big, big squeeze, tense, tense, tense. Relax everything. Inhale, big squeeze, hugging all those muscles to bones. And relax everything. Inhale, squeeze, tense, gather it up, hold it, exaggerate it. Exhale, relax and wiggle, jiggle, shake, shake. Begin to yourself awake back into the moment, back into breath. Just little wiggles and sparkles and spirals and stretches as inspire deep in that breath. And find your own lively way of bringing yourself back into the moment, into the day, into whatever is next for you. So please stay resting as you like. In real time as we record, it is 11:08. So maybe use those wiggles to bring yourself back or stay resting longer if you have that time. And thank you for your presence and your practice. Nice work, everyone. Strong today. So grateful to share this practice with you. Stay with that breathfulness, and that lightness of heart and fortitude of being. May you be at ease, steady, and joyful in all of your actions and interactions. Thank you, body. Thank you, breath. Great Spirit, Mystery, Source, Creator. Thank you to all the teachers, gurus, and lineages of this practice, and to all the guardians and protectors of the earth. Thank you. Namaste. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.